Fearless Gamers, Matt here for Fearless Games, and today we're on the last episode of our Vets How To running a Battlefleet Gothic campaign. Now, we've gone over how to set it up, what you do for your turn, all the way up to the end of the mission. Now it goes on to the end of the official turn, when the turn is officially over and you're going to move on to the next side of the force, or however you wish to run this, like at the end of the round, however you've set up your tournament. Or campaign, sorry. With Battlefleet Gothic, after you've generated your renown, you then get to do a bunch of different things. Essentially, you get ship experience, which ships gain it if they went through battle without being crippled or destroyed. And if this is the case, you roll 2d6, and if the roll is higher than their leadership, they gain a point of leadership. They gain a +1 point to their leadership to a maximum of 10, and then they can do one. And then you may choose, or you may choose a crew skill for your ship to learn. This makes them better at gunning, better at taking damage, and all this other fun stuff. So that essentially your ships can get better and better as they are used and used. But on the flip side, there is a flip side to it if things should go worse for them. If a ship is crippled in a battle, it loses a leadership. But the crew skills it has never go away, so it can never lose crew abilities, but it can lose leadership points if it's crippled. Now, if it's destroyed, well then the ship is replaced with a brand new one. New name, all that new name, and it starts with a leadership of 6 with no special abilities or anything like that. One thing also note, if a ship gains, does improve itself, and its leadership is 6 or 7, it must take the leadership boost. So you can't get a new ship that's leadership 6 and just building up its skills. No, you have to build it up to leadership 8. When it's at leadership 8, then it can pick crew skills and such. It's to represent the synergy with the ship and everything. Since the commander is low ranking, he doesn't have the skills to get a crew that is gaining more abilities and a little bit more advanced than your average ship crew. And in case of escorts, they are considered crippled when half of the squad is gone, and if the squad is completely destroyed, then it's replaced with a brand new squadron. Typically I make it the exact same vessel, unless their replacement is the same points. So that's how I usually ran those. But to make things easier, we just same ship, new name. That way you didn't have to really worry about dealing with thinking and all this other jazz. And so now with this, you then go on to your repairs and withdrawals. Withdraws, not withdrawals. Though you can go through withdrawal if you don't game enough. But anyway, bad humor, sorry. For repairs, what happens is the players on one side, the side that its turn is in, or at the end of the round that you want, or the battle, however you want to DV this. We did this at the end of every battle. Just because it was hard to get in contact with everybody, so just to make things easier, I'd be like, okay, boom, boom, do your things, okay, and we, record it there. So, again, how you decide to utilize these steps is all up to you, whichever makes it easier for you guys to run and, manage the, repair or like, the lack of a better word, the end phase of the a campaign turn. What you do is you take the players' total planets that systems that they control, and they generate a certain number of repair points. Again, keeping note that any system that was won in a raid, or in the case of Corsairs, Dark Eldar, and Orcs, just for that turn, once they've established their repairs, those systems go away, out of their control. But any of the other forces, these systems that were won through battles, keep going. Continue producing their resource, and keep control of the system. Now, the number of points that you gain is based off your renown and what type of system it is. There's an ergi or argi or ergri, however you wish to pronounce this, as most of the guys here. No, I'm horrible with pronouncing words, and so I apologize for that. For a penal planet, if it's a penal system, mining system, a forge, hive, or pirate base, civilized or uninhabited, that determines how many repair points it is versus your renown. If you're low renown, the system's gonna be like, who are you and why should we give you stuff? At high renowns are like, you're that legendary dude, it'll be an honor to be able to say that we helped you because in your next battle, it will be our supplies that made you win, type of thing. And this number that you generate is called your repair points. What you use these for is to repair ships, replenish squadrons. So let's just say you've got 6 repair points. You have one escort squadron that was 6 ships, now it's down to 3. And 1 cruiser that lost 2 hull points. So you've got 6 points there. You spend 2 of your repair points to make the cruiser back up to full health. Now you've got 3. After 2, you got 3 point. You got 4 points left. Sorry, math in my head, hot, crazy stuff. So you have 4 repair points left. You then spend a repair point for each escort you put back into a squadron. Then, whatever repair points you have left over, they go away. They don't carry over, that's it. So, if you have a lot, that's a good thing because then that guarantees that you can fix the most of your fleet as possible. If you don't have a whole lot, then you're running a risk of, with ships who took damage in one battle, they keep that on them if it isn't repaired in this phase. So that's one of the important parts of generating systems. You need the points to guarantee that because in fact in some games that I've been in, you can run a risk where your entire fleet is crippled because you don't have any systems and you could only repair like maybe 1 or 2 vessels. But there is an option out of this. There's a thing called withdrawing. You can withdraw a number of vessels, and your next battle, they are not available at all. After that battle, those vessels come back at full hit points. That's how if you're like, ooh, that battleship, I don't have enough repair points, but I need 9 and I only got 2, you can withdraw the battleship. You can't use it for your next battle, but then the following battle, the battleship comes back at full health. So those are your 2 options. It makes it where a ship, could not be used in a vessel, and it could be the thing that decides whether you win or lose, but bringing it in, you may risk losing it either way, but you guarantee that you at least have it in the next round. So that's another thing that can happen in the phase. And then the last step before your official turn is done is called the appeals. Appeals are where you basically ask for one of 3 requests. Depending on your renown level, depends on how many appeals you're allowed to make at the end of the game, at the turn. And what you do is you roll a d6 to see what, and then however declared what you're going to appeal for, you roll a d6 for each appeal that you wish to get granted. You could either make them, basically we just made what appeal do you want to make? The 3 that there are is reinforcements, refits, and other. Reinforcements is where, you add a ship or squadron of up to 5 escorts may be added to your fleet. So you can either get a new cruiser, a new battleship, or a squad of maximum 5 escorts brought into your fleet. They're added in, brand new, start the game off, you roll leadership for them, and you go. Just like essentially it's pretending like you're just making an amendment to your fleet list and getting bigger. So it is possible to get larger than the allotted point limit that you had set. Refits, and to get these, let's see. Oh, sorry. Depending on which force you have, depends on what type of resources you can get. Imperials can get refits, reinforcements, or Space Marines, which counts as other. Chaos can get refits, reinforcements, or Forces of Chaos, which is other. And orcs and Eldar get refits, reinforcements. The other forces, I would say count as basically just reinforcements or refits, depending. I don't know about the Tyranids. I never had the actual book that was used for Tyranids, the Armada book, I believe it was. So I don't know how they fall into place there. Now, usually what you'll need is on a usually what you'll need for refits is you'll have to generate let's see, what is it? Oh, sorry. I'm kind of half-thing. Now, when you roll your d6 to see which one you get, for a reinforcement, you need a 2+. For refits, you need a 4+, and for other, you need 5+, unless otherwise noted. I believe, like the Fortress, the Remilly's class Starforge, you need a 6 on, and a 5 if you're a Space Marine. So it can vary on the roll. So you would roll, so you go, I'm going refits. I rolled a 4. Hey, I get a refit. You then roll a or hey, I get a reinforcement. So, sorry, I about clarified that. So yes, after that, so reinforcements, so if you get it, 1 cruiser, 1 battleship, or a squad of escorts up to 5, configured up to 5 vessels. Then with refits, you roll another d6. On a 1 and 2, it's a ship refit. On a 3 for 4, it's an engine refit, and on a 5 or 6, it's a weapon refit. And then you go to the refits table for Battlefleet Gothic, and you roll on that to see what you get. One little amendment here that I will make on it is a lot of the refits and such, and a lot of the appeals on this chart don't really appeal to orcs and Eldar. If you can find them, I believe Battlefleet Gothic Revised has them incorporated into their thing. That's a great resource for the tables, refits, armaments, and stuff like that, because a lot of them are very true and faithful to the original source material with a slight balancing set up to them. But Eldar and Orcs had their own that benefited them, because there's a bunch here where I was like, I looked at it once with it, and I was like, this refit gives me absolutely no benefit whatsoever, because it's like, add +1 to your shields. I don't have shields, so I guess I don't get shields. And there was just a lot of stuff that did not help us at all with it, or orcs or all that jazz. So if you can find them, it's best to look up the refit charts for the orcs and the Eldar, so that way they can actually benefit from the actual roll table instead of only half of the chart working for them. And now with other, what happens is if you succeed in that, the Space Marines and the Forces of Chaos and Space Marines have their own table that you roll on, and the result determines what the what benefit they get. It could be gain a strike cruiser, gain a special this. A lot of it tends to be special area effect stuff for stat bonuses for your next round. So depending on how your fleet is doing will depend on which one you'd want to do. Extra ships, boost up a vessel. The only thing is with those refits, you lose them if the ship is gone. So that's like the thing there so if you lose a vessel, its leadership and its crew skills go away, and any refits it has go away. And the other chart, it generates a next round boon for you. So you get it for the next turn that you're in battle, and then you lose it again unless it otherwise notes. And then after that, you continue on to your next turn, and you start the cycle over again. And you keep on going until one of two things happens. You reach the end of your allotted round. So if you say you did 6 rounds, then at the end of 6 rounds, boom, you're done. Or if one side is completely wiped, then the game is over. You then tally up so let's just say it wasn't a complete wipe on one side. There are some Imperial forces, some Chaos forces left. You go to the last round. You then look at everyone's renown level, and the person who scored the highest wins. So you could have, well, what if it's, 3 and 3? You determine which side won in terms of whose renown levels were the highest, and then the one who had the highest in that team is the overall winner. And that's how you would run a Battlefleet Gothic campaign. It's fairly simple. It runs very smoothly. The hardest part about it is, the most complicated part is setting up the map and getting everybody going. Then the hardest part is just getting the guys to play the games and doing all the recording of the results and all that. So once you get them really going, they're fairly easy to maintain. The bigger the group you have, the more complicated it's going to get, because that's a lot more people you have to manage and micromanage and all that other stuff. But if it's essentially at that point, it's best to have a number of slots open to make it where it's a size that you feel confident you can handle. And that, in a nutshell, is all there is for how to run a Battlefleet Gothic campaign. Thank you all for watching. Now, I'm going to leave this video up for 1 week. One whole empty week. Any of the videos that you want on this, leave your questions that you have, and then I'll do a Q&A video at the end of this, where I'll look at all the comments and I will answer every question that's posted. Once again, thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope this was informative for you guys. If you have your own tips and hints about running a campaign that you found work, or you think are really cool elements to add, feel free to leave a comment. And if you haven't already, subscribe to us. That way you get these videos as they come out. Like the video as well, please. That way more people can see it and the video gets circulated. Check us out on Facebook and on fearlessgames.com. And that is all for right now. So thank you all for watching, and until next time, Fearless Gamers, take care.